Yo, 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 yo. I'm here because I want to thank y'all for 4,000 downloads. That's the only reason. Well, that's the other reason I hit record. I want to thank y'all for 4,000 downloads. I want to thank y'all for 4,000 listens. 4,000 times someone has hit play to listen to this podcast. Very humbled. Very thankful. Very grateful. But I'm also very determined. I want to expand this thing. I want it to be so men don't have to be so bitter. I don't like the fact that men are so bitter in a lot of these podcasts when in regards to women, when men should just invest time into why they feel the way they feel and what they're going to do about it and or how they are going to navigate when those problems arise again. It is extremely easy to point the blame in every other direction. It is extremely hard to say, this is my fault, this is on me, this is what I need to do. That was on my heart bad because what's happening is you get podcasts like, I'll say their names because Fresh and Fit, Tommy Sotomayor. I would say it's a guy that be on No Jumper. He minimalized women a little bit. His name is, I think, Sharp or something like that. But he's not as bad as those other two. Sharp minimalizes women who he feels like they should capitalize on the hustles they feel like they're doing. If that makes any sense. There's a lot of women, and I know that show's a little divisive, but he interviews women who, let's just say they're entertainers or whatever, and then they say they accepted such and such offer. He's around to just keep it real enough to be like, your number's low, shawty. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations with him, but, no offense, no, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I'm not trying to be him, but I don't even want to make him as the bad guy either. He's the easiest target. He's dead now, sad to say, but he's the easiest target. If you put everything in the lens, you would think he just bashes women he was bashing women all day, da-da-da-da. Now, I don't like the fact that women allow men's opinions to affect their psyche. Men, let me tell y'all something, because this is for the men. This podcast right here for us. We aren't the superior beings between us and them. They can bring life into this world. They immediately have the advantage. They have the advantage so much that man, look, a lot of people ain't going to agree with this opinion, but I'm just going to spit it out because it's right here. My brain is right here. We here, we talking, I've already hit record. You feel me? So I love the Bible. No offense to the Bible, but the way in which they downplay the role of the woman, the way that because men feel like they're physically stronger, they can just minimize what women, what the woman brain is capable of, what women just in totality are capable of. I'm not a fan of any of that shit. I'm not around for degrading or putting them down or minimum. For anything, we want to uplift our women. Yes, this is a men's podcast, but anybody listening to this, if you ain't uplifting women, you should cut this off. And we can't focus on what's bad about women, because if we go tit for tat and we go, well, this is what's bad about women, do you know that they could like have a list 4 times as long as what's bad about men? Like, we can't be in that position where we are constantly feeling like it's us against them. It's not us against them. This is a human thing. We all need to be on the same accord in order for this all to work. Yes, this podcast is designed for men, but if I got any female listeners, I want y'all to know I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I will never, you may hear episodes about me talking about a past significant other, my current significant other, my mom, my sister, you know what I mean? Like, I talk about women and I might not give them the best reviews all the time, but I refuse to put them down. I refuse. And every time, I've had some real bad experiences with women. That don't make me want to put them down. That don't make me want to say, oh, nah, these women ain't da-da-da. No. I can't walk around with a bitter heart towards everybody because of a select few, because of the bad decisions I chose to make with those select few. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still, I'm still bringing it back to where I was taking it. I don't like how they minimize women in the Bible, and think about these LGBTQIA plus laws. I think the transgender agenda only isn't fair because men are finding ways to manipulate the system. I'm not just saying this, I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere. I read on the news the other day that a dad legally changed his gender in order to get custody of his kids. I'm not saying this, I'm not being negative. I don't have hate towards transgender people. I do not like how men have placed laws in place to make sure that they can enable themselves in a bunch of different cheat codes. That's not fair for someone born a man to play female sports. It's not fair. It's not only not fair, it shouldn't even be a thing. If you want to make body modifications, that's fine. If you want to identify yourself as anything other than what you are, that's fine. I'm not judging any of that. I feel like everybody has the right. If I want to be if I want to be a duck tomorrow, if I want to identify myself as duck tomorrow, I should have the freedom to do so. But what I'm noticing with men is we got priests out here getting in trouble saying now they're they're trans ages. So now instead of being a 42-year-old man, they believe that they're a 9-year-old woman. You know what I mean? So we gotta nip things like that in the bud. Cause that's when it gets extreme. I'm all for empowerment of any sorts. I don't want to feel like I'm a hater, but I don't like how men are minimalizing women. It all falls into the same category. If I'm not mistaken, didn't Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner win Woman of the Year somewhere? Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. You've been a man for 50-something years and all of a sudden you want to change, or 60-something, and all of a sudden you want to change everything you got going on. Now you're reading the articles, he kind of regret the surgery. He kind of want to go back to dating women. Bro, what is going on? This is why knowledge of self is very important. This is why knowing who you are is very important. My last episode was named Identity. What am I doing all of this for? And why am I doing it? We all have to know the what's and the whys. We got to figure that out. We can't be out here just lost and aimlessly wondering, and then if things don't go our way, we change our whole gender just to get ahead on life. Like, that's the problem I have with these laws. If you were born a certain way and you've always felt that way your whole life, then that's one thing. I'm not knocking anything like that. Dwayne Wade's daughter, I'm not knocking that. If Dwayne Wade's daughter has been feeling like that since forever, and you feel me, like, that's not nothing I'm knocking. EJ, Magic Johnson's son, I'm not knocking that. I don't like when it feels like it's to an advantage, though. I'm not knocking nobody trans. I just don't like how men can really use that as a weapon against women. I don't like how back in the day the Bible was used as a weapon against women. It's plenty of good stuff in the Bible. Let's not get it twisted. But why do they have to paint Eve as the bad guy? This isn't an original story. All of these things are derived from something. So let's just remember, I've said something about alternative reasoning on this podcast before. Let's just use some alternative reasoning. Let's say all of them stories in the Bible was flipped around. How the women ain't the Jezebels, but it was the men out here just starting around. Like, it's something odd about all of that, y'all. Y'all have to feel me on that. I'm not going against what the Bible say. I'm not going against a lot of stuff. I just don't like how men, since the beginning of time now, since I've been born, I can't say the beginning of time, but since I've been born, I have noticed how, like, first men had to play extra macho. And this is just how it is. I'm old school, I'm old fashioned. Then I noticed how men tried to, like, play a ultra sensitive role. Now I'm noticing they want to be women. Bruh, you can't be a woman, bruh. You can't push life through your legs, bruh. You don't bleed for a week, bruh. You got to identify yourself as whatever you want to identify yourself as. I'm not going to deny what you want to identify yourself as, but the facts will always be the facts. And like I said, I'm not talking about those cases. Plenty of trans people are awesome, amazing individuals. I'm not here to judge, but what I am here to say is y'all have to realize that those laws got put in place by some white man that was trying to get over on the government and on society for their benefit. Those laws wasn't placed together for equality's sake. Because if that was the case, those laws would have been in place in the 70s. When everybody was kicking down the door for civil rights and all that, that's when the LGBT thing could have been introduced right then and there. In the 70s. So somebody wanted to identify as a fish, you got to identify as a fish. They should have did that in the 70s. The fact that they waited this long to pull it off and it happened in 2000 something, that lets me know that this was a plan conjured up by some old white men who needed loopholes to get them through when things wasn't going their way. You ain't gotta believe me. You don't gotta believe me. I'm not here to be believed. I'm just here to preach a level of understanding. Like, hopefully y'all can get it through y'all heads that, like, everything don't be what it seems. Things be one way on the surface, but underneath the surface, there's a real other thing going on. They said the word conspiracy theory didn't become a real word or thing until after JFK got killed. You know why? Because the whole world knew that was a setup from the jump. The most beloved president ever, who was about to expose the government and was about to right a lot of the wrongs that was going on. And not to mention he was beloved. They wasn't about to let him do that. They had to take him out. The FBI tries to take out anybody that wants to equal the playing field in America. They're going to take you out. It just is what it is at this point. But now that y'all heard me going that rant, I need support. I only cut this on because I seen I was over 4,000. Let's give y'all something else. You feel me? But I do need support. I need y'all to donate to that Cash App. I need y'all to like these. I need y'all to like these episodes. Like them somewhere. Rate this podcast in your podcast app. I don't care if it's 1 star. I don't care if it's all 5 stars. Just rate it. You ain't got to leave. And I'm going to see y'all. All right. This has been another lovely, wonderful, amazing episode. And I do appreciate y'all all. All right. See y'all soon. Talk to y'all soon.